What's going on, guys? My name is Ronnie Buchica. I'm an agency owner here under All-Star Invictus Capital, and my team's doing about $800K a month right now, personal sales. I've sold over $1 million on my own pen, and I'm going to be one of the ones breaking down the business with you.
Let's go. My name's David Layton. I've been in the business for like 17 months at this point. My team's currently doing over $400,000 a month. I issued paid over $500,000 on my own pen my first year. And today we are just going to be breaking down the business from start to finish. Like what it looks like for a new agent just like you who's interested in life insurance, what it takes to get licensed to actually start selling.
Boom, and just how we get paid, and we're just going to go stuff over from A to Z. So going into the first slide that we have here, it's going to be the 4 realities. So the 4 realities are this. Number 1, first and foremost, this is a business. You have to treat it like a business. What does that mean? You cannot treat it like a full-time job because 40 hours a week is honestly part-time. Nobody making money is working 40 hours a week. That's the reality that you have to face. So no business owner, especially in their first 3 years of business, is working anything less than 50 to 70 hours a week. So the moment you start treating it like a business is the moment it's going to start paying you like a business. If you treat it like a full-time job, it's going to pay you like a full-time job. If you treat it like a part-time job, it's going to pay you like a part-time job. So first and foremost, this is a business. You cannot take your foot off the gas in the first year, 2, even 3 is recommended. Because again, this is a business. And number 2, this is a journey. You're either winning or you're learning. In sales, in this business, it's going to be a lot of ups and downs at every single level that you go up to. It's just a matter of how you're going to navigate and weather the storm. So in the first 90 days, it's really just more so about learning over earning. Second 90 days is more so going to be about hopefully earning. First 90 days is going to be the learning curve. That's going to be the hardest part of this journey. It's not to say the rest is going to be easy, but first 90 days is really the make or break. It's the learning curve. It's going to be the hardest part. It's really important to just take it as serious as possible. The third reality, people are going to say no. Don't take it personally. It's okay to get, it's just going to be a lot of rejection. It takes like 99 no's to get that one yes, but that one yes can pay you $800 to $1,200 upfront commission within 30 days. Could be the next day, could be next week, or could be a month from now, depending on the policy. So it is pretty quick commission compared to other industries like solar or even alarms. It's pretty similar to that. So people are going to say no. There's going to be a lot of rejection. Don't take it personally. It's part of the game. If you're not good at handling rejection, this will not be for you. And the fourth reality, this is going to take work. This business isn't easy, but it is simple. This job, this business, sales in general, is really just self-development disguised as a business. So you're either working on yourself or becoming a better human being, or you're leveling up, or you're becoming a better individual, or you're going to let your bad habits get to you and you're going to fail out of the business because you can't lead yourself. So it's going to really force you to level up as a human being, as an individual, or you're going to fail out of the business. So you are always constantly a work in progress, just like the business. As you level up, you have to level up too. Your success and the business's success goes hand in hand.
Yep. So the expectations when you actually join and you actually start selling, this is to the point where you are contracted. It's $400 a day, and that's minimum. There's guys on the team that'll do $600, $700, $800 per day. Like, it's all up to you, right? So that's the minimum, though, is $400 a day for any new agent, because it's all about learning over earning at the beginning. Once again, it's about learning. So at the end of every call, if you ever have questions, you need to write everything down and then recap with your mentor every night. And as long as you're learning something new every day, then that's a win. Perfecting your craft, every single training. We have live trainings every single morning. Every morning from guys who are selling at least $40,000 a month. And it's completely free. You need to hop on, and it's at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Perfect your craft. You need to surround yourself with the people who have the results that you want, and listen and implement, right? I just touched on it, but write down your objections and review them daily, right? Any objection you get on the phone. If you get something crazy you've never heard of, David, he told me his freaking dog ran out the house. Like, what do I do there? Write it down. We will recap everything at night, and as long as you're learning, once again, that's the key here. In your first 90 days, as long as you're learning, then that's the key, right? The earning will always come, right? And then here at we're with All-Star, Ronnie runs Invictus, I run Vision Capital, but we all have the same morals, values, goals, everything. We all think alike, we do the same thing. And one of the pillars is dude, be in shape. We want you to be physically fit. So hit the gym in the morning. Make sure you're staying physically fit, because that's going to translate to business. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Now, the last one's super important. If you can make it to Austin, this is where we're located. If we compared all the guys who run a virtual business at home versus all the guys that are plugged into an office, if we compared all the numbers, the guys in an office do way better, because you're surrounding yourself with other people that have the results that you want, and we can hands-on train you. Right? Now, if you are virtually and for whatever reason you can't make it into an office down in Austin, for example, then you need to be on from 9 to 9. This is what it's going to take. So you're on the Zoom. We have a Zoom that we'll plug you up with, but you're on the Zoom, your camera's on and you're unmuted, and you're dialing all day intentionally.
All right, guys. So there's 6 ways on how to get paid. Number 1, the simplest, it's the bulk of it. It's going to be the upfront. So 75% upfront of every single deal that you sell. So we have like an example here. It says, so if you sell a policy, let's say the average policy is about $100. You times that by 12. Your total commission, if you're at 85% comp, is so the annual premium is $1,200. If you're at 85% comp, the commission payout is $1,020. Now, you get 75% upfront. So that's the first 9 months. So that's $765 that hits your bank account, and the rest gets paid out, number 2, the second way to get paid, which is the back end. So you get the months 10, 11, 12 on the back end. So that's how you get paid every single sale that you make. You get 75% up front, 25% on the back end, and that's kind of the math that you can see there. Number 3 is going to be renewals. So after the first year, because number 1 and 2 is the first year. Number 3 is going to be the rest of the time that the client is alive. Number 3 is going to be renewals. So of that $1,020 that your commission is, you get about 4 to 5 to 8% of that every single year. So if you do the math there, I mean, it's probably like $50 if I had to guess roughly on that. And you get paid that per policy. When I was selling final expense and veterans, I was selling about 40 to 60 people every single month minimum. And so you do the math on that, it's a hefty amount of renewals you can get. So that being said, number four is going to be overrides. Now, this is going to come in handy when you're building an agency and you're not just selling. This is like, for example, the position myself and David are in. We have an agency that does X amount of revenue every single month. Our overrides get paid out from the carriers that we are contracted with. Let's say, for example, my team does $800K a month in sales. My overrides roughly average about 10%. The carrier pays me 10% on top of everything for my agency bonus. I get an override on that. It's the difference between my comp and the agent's comp, and the carrier pays out that difference. And roughly on average, if you're doing $1 million a month, that's about $100K a month in overrides, which both of us are going to be at the end of the year in 2026. So food for thought. We've only been in the industry 2 years. I've been in the industry 2 years and a few months. He's been in the industry, a year and a half, roughly. So, food for thought, guys. And where else can you do that? Honestly, nowhere else. Number 5 is going to be the team bonus. This is straight from Family First Life, the IMO. So the carriers are the people that we have the contracts with, which we'll get to, and then the IMO is like the umbrella of the actual company. So that's who is the middleman between us and the carriers. They're going to pay us the bonuses for team and producer. So on your own pen, which is going to be shown in the next slide, David will go over it. And the team bonuses, you get paid just for writing business. For example, I'm paying over 40, 50K every single month. My bonus just for doing that for my own personal pen it was 2K a month bonus. Now my team bonuses are anywhere from 10 to 15,000 because of my team production. That is free money that I get just for doing my job. And David's bonuses are pretty much the same. They're pretty similar for the most part, but yeah.
Awesome. So the goal is to get a new agent who knows nothing about life insurance. How quickly can we get you to $20,000 issued paid? We tell people if you join our agency, we will get $10,000 in your bank account by the end of those 90 days, so the end of the 3 months, which is going to mean you need to issue pay $20,000. He just broke down how you get paid, right? You get 85% commission, and then you get 75% of that up front. So the goal to get you to 20K is, once again, you got to do $400 per day. This is a numbers game. How many inputs can you put in? That's going to correlate to the outputs, the actual money, right? But let's break down like an actual, like your actual month. This is what your schedule should be. If you can get to 1 close per day, average close is $100 a month. We multiply that by 12 months. That's $1,200 on the year, obviously. You get paid that 85% commission. That would give you a little over $1,000 net in commission on the entire year. Now, once again, the carriers are going to upfront you the 75%. That's what's going to hit your bank account. We work 6 days a week, right? So we work Monday through Saturday. So if you can do one close per day, 6 days a week, that's going to give you roughly $6,000 net weekly, right? So that's a $24K month. Now, there are chargebacks. Obviously, it's business, it's sales. Not every single person you ever sell is going to stay on the books. There will be, on average, 20% of people are going to charge back or cancel. So we take that out of the equation, which would leave you $20,000 a net, right? $20,000 upfront, or that's $20,000 on the year. And because this example, you'd get 75% of that upfront in your bank account.
All right, so this is the producer bonus that I was talking about. So if you do 20K, which is average writer, and our agency is like 16, 18K, like roughly just under that. So if you do 20K, you get paid $650 into your bank account every single month. If you do 30K, 1,200, 40K, 1,600, and so forth. You guys can see that there. But I mean, that's just free money, literally just for doing your job. I mean, if you're on the upper echelon, like some of the top guys in our group, ourselves, we were getting $2,000 every single month just for doing our job. And I mean, that's like 24 grand for free on the year, which is like sometimes for some people, that's like their annual salary. When I was working at Trader Joe's, that was my annual salary. So food for thought.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts of the business, was getting a $2,000 bonus every single month. Just coming in, unchargebackable. It's just bang, $2,000.
Pays my rent.
Right.
Paid
now,
my rent.
Yeah, I paid a lot of my rent when I first started. So here's the thing, guys. We don't work with we're not a private equity company. We don't work with one life insurance company. We're brokers, which is really good for you because we have access to so many different carriers, right? Family First Life is not an insurance company. It's an IMO, and they are partnered with all of the top insurance companies that all you guys have probably heard of. If not, your parents have heard of them, right? Transamerica is a really big one. Mutual of Omaha, Aetna, Ethos, Americo, Corbridge, American Amicable, Royal Neighbors, F&G. Like, there's so many insurance carriers that we get contracted with that we can write through. And the reason that we do this is it honestly puts the client first. Our goal when you sell clients is to put them in the best position possible. So if you're selling someone that's 30 years old, really young and healthy, you're probably going to use Americo, Transamerica, NLG. You're going to write them in IUL. If you're selling someone that's 78, has a few health issues, that's why we have American Amicable, Corbridge, whatever. So we have different products for different carriers, but the whole goal with this is to give you, the agent, a bunch of options. So you can tailor the correct product for the correct client based on their age and health. The other really cool thing is we do annual conventions at Family First Life, and every time we go, there's a representative from all these insurance carriers, and they all say that Family First Life here, we are the best IMO for all these insurance carriers. They love us the most. We provide the most business for all of these insurance carriers that we use. And in doing so, they provide bonuses, right? That's one thing, I'm not sure if it's touched on here, but I've gotten tens of thousands of dollars in bonuses from these insurance carriers from just issue paying a lot.
Me too. And just to touch on that, I was a big fan of the AIG bonus, and that was about 7 to 10K every single quarter. And I made sure I hit the top level every single quarter when I was full-time selling. So I think I got my first year, I literally got close to 40K worth of bonuses from one carrier. And I did write that carrier a lot, but that's 40 grand was like, it was like half of my salary at the time when I was doing corporate America. So just for bonuses.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, I'll touch on this.
Yeah.
Corbridge, they do quarterly bonuses. Ethos will do 2 bonuses a year. It's every 6 months, and it's same with Americo. And Americo just ended it. So currently today it's June 30th. And so from January to the end of June, they did a bonus, and I made $7,000 in a bonus that they just hand you for doing your job, right? And so a lot of bonuses are offered here.
Leads. So this is important. This is why we're able to scale as fast as we have been and have been doing for the last few years. So leads itself, like if you don't have a good lead, if it leads-based system, you're SOL. You know, you look at captive agencies, you look at where those life insurance agencies that tell you to recruit your friends and family. Oh, we have to go out there and canvas and go knock doors, or go to businesses, do presentation. Oh, you have to run bait and switch leads where you call and pretend like you're some benefits person, and you have to get 10 referrals from them. Like all this, like I won't name names or or companies, but that model is broken. It's really slow and really hard to scale, guys. Like we have in-house leads. There's multiple lead vendors that we use. It is a pay-to-play system, but that gives us access to the entire United States at our fingertips at all times. We can work every single time zone at all times. And the scalability, that's what makes it so almost infinite. As fast as you can possibly scale this thing, it's you can go as fast as you want because you have unlimited leads, meaning you have unlimited potential. You just need more that are want to grind with you, and that's it, basically. So leads is going to be the bread and butter. That's how we scale.
Yep. So to break down like what a lead is, people will see a form online, right? This is typically where we get our leads from. So if you hop on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, like whatever, they'll see an ad, right? Life insurance, final expense coverage, like whatever the ad is, they click on the link, and the average lead is going to have all of this right here. Has their full name, their date of birth, who their beneficiary is going to be, how much coverage they're looking for, obviously their phone number. Are they ready today or do they need to think about it? What's the coverage for? Final expense, IUL, whatever it is. Are they married or single? Do they currently have any coverage? What state they're located in? If you're selling veterans, you'll have like the military branch they served in, and then the best time of day to contact them. These are just some examples of data points that come in on these leads, right? And so we'll purchase these leads. We'll get a whole list of them, and then we're just reaching out to them all the time, right? And we have all this data, and then you're just going to read a script word for word that you need to memorize, right? It's that simple. This is not rocket science. You don't need to come up with, like Ronnie said, you don't need to call your family and sell grandma, sell your uncle life insurance, nothing like that. Like we have leads. That's one of the main things that I was worried about when I first joined. I was like, dude, are they going to make me like call my family and like sell my mom life insurance? Like I don't want to do that. And I've never had to do that. Right? And so that's what leads are for. There's no cold calling, no cold door knocking, nothing like that. Like we provide leads, people who requested information about life insurance.
And I mean, this is a little bit outdated, but that's kind of how our numbers go. We don't have to really kind of, actually, just so you can kind of have an idea. This is basically what issued paid in our leaderboards kind of look like, just so you kind of have an idea. Issued paid, like Dominic Vasco, he's like one of our top guys. He issued paid about $65,000, meaning 75% of that month got paid to him in his bank account, and so forth. So that's just a rough example on how all those numbers kind of add up to and what they look like. And this is the last slide there.
Yeah.
And we're just going to touch on it, brother.
So just to like wrap up here, I would say like this business is going to be tough. Your first 90 days, like once again, focus on learning over earning. If you're not willing to like work super hard, if you're not willing to be coachable, like this business is copy and paste. You don't need to come up with any amazing script or find a different way to sell. Like we have all the resources that you need to succeed here. It's a plug and play system. So if you're not willing to work really hard, like 12 hours a day, minimum. Like honestly, if you're not willing to work 12 hours a day, you're not willing to be coachable and just listen and implement, and you don't have like a good attitude or mindset. If you're not positive, if you're going to be negative or complain, whatever, like the business is not for you, right? If you are willing to do those things, this is the business for you, and you will make a lot of money, right? And I do want to touch on this is we have trainings that are live every single morning at 8:30 a.m. Central Time. Right? There's a Zoom link, we hop on it, and you're hearing trainings from some of the top salesmen in the company. And so to wrap up, follow me on Instagram, right? We post about the business all the time. My Instagram is David_Layton, Layton 24.
Yes, sir. And my Instagram is going to be Ronnie, RONNY_Bucica, BUCICA. And that's going to be my Instagram handle. And that's a wrap, guys.
We'll
be speaking
See
to
you
you
next
soon.
time.